We're getting to the heart of basketball season, so we're in the middle of Zags country. This month's episode of WCC All-Access comes to you from the campus of Gonzaga University in Spokane, Washington.
I'm Ezra Broder.
And I'm Sammy O'Brien, and coming up, the women take center stage. We preview the WCC basketball season.
Plus, by all accounts, 2018 is the best fall sports season in conference history. We look back at the historic year.
And saddle up, we show you a different side of BYU women's head coach Jeff Judkins as he takes us for a ride with his horses. But first, there are high expectations going into this men's basketball season. One top 5 team nationally, a handful of 20-win teams. How many can get into the NCAA tournament? I sat down with Stadium's Jeff Goodman to preview the WCC.
Jeff, I know you've covered a lot of different conferences over a lot of years. I want to get specific with the WCC. Is the West Coast Conference better off as a whole since that magical Gonzaga Final Four run just a couple years ago?
Well, I think the bottom is better. You know, certainly St. Mary's is going to go through a little bit of a rebuilding year this year. A lot of people don't know who these guys are, but I talked to Randy Bennett. He really likes this young group, and to go along with Ford, they'll have enough. I mean, you can't ever discount, to me, St. Mary's and BYU, but I think the bottom of the league has gotten better. You know, look at some of the hires they've made. Lorenzo Romar, great hire back at Pepperdine. He'll get it going. I mean, I remember years ago a coach telling me in the Pac-12, they were so worried about Lorenzo Romar potentially getting the UCLA job because of his recruiting prowess. So Romar's going to take some of that to Pepperdine where he can really recruit LA. And yeah, I think Sam Scholl's going to do a really good job at San Diego. Kyle Smith's done a great job at San Fran. Damian Stoudemire at Pacific. Terry Porter at Portland. They got really good coaches now. I think that's the difference from maybe a couple years ago. And a lot of these coaches aren't in their first year. They're now in their third year.
Well, and do you think this is a conference that, in theory, should have 2 teams going to the NCAA tournament every year?
I do, and I want to see Randy Bennett schedule accordingly. You know, I get on him a little bit about it, and I think some of it's justified. You know, step it up a little bit, and he's got the ultimate job security. Why not play a few more big boy games? And I know people don't want to come to Moraga, but even if you have to play some 2-for-1s, whatever, get your kids, give them the best opportunity to get in the NCAA tournament every year. I love this league. I do. I'm going to be out here more this year. I think it's a great league, underrated, and they should be looking at 3 teams fairly consistently with, again, the core being Gonzaga, BYU getting back to hopefully what they were, and St. Mary's has been really good.
Well, let's get into that Gonzaga team. You have them amongst the likes of Kentucky, Kansas, Duke. Are the Bulldogs a household name nationally?
Completely. I mean, completely. I mean, think about that you've got them in that group and nobody bats an eye anymore. Where, like, in the old days, you'd be like, come on, Gonzaga. But because they went to the national title game, I think it took that monkey off their back, or that stigma. And I think this team might be better with the addition of Brandon Clark, who sat out last year from San Jose State. They're super athletic up front. Josh Perkins, you know, 5th-year kid now. He's experienced. So they've got, like, everything that you would need. They've got size. They've got athleticism. They've got good guard play. So I think they may be better than they were a couple years ago.
You mentioned some key players there for Gonzaga. If you could open it up to the rest of the WCC, who are you looking to stand out in the conference?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to see Ford be a guy that's going to average 20 a game. I mean, again, St. Mary's lost everything. So they've got a lot of other guys that we don't know a lot about right now, but he'll be the cornerstone guy, you know, as much as anything else. And, you know, I want to see if Hawes can kind of rebound from a tough year last year, and, you know, what they can do. Emory back. I mean, it's going to be an interesting year, I think, in Provo.
One key to the Zag success is sophomore sharpshooter Zach Norvell Jr., also known by his childhood nickname, Snacks. As you might expect, he really likes eating, and we put him to the test to see just how well he knows his snack food.
Ready?
Yep.
Goldfish. Is it there?
Yeah.
It's there, yeah. There you go. Chocolate chip cookie, Chip Ahoy. Yeah, I love chocolate chip cookies. These are Fritos. Yeah, this is my favorite chips for a while, actually. Yeah, but I had to stop because they make your breath stink. Oh, Sour Patch Kids. Yeah, a really good one. One of my favorites, actually, too. Is this the biggest Reese ever? Where's your cup?
All right.
Skittles? I'm not good on the flavors. Nope. Tropical?
Wild berry.
Ah. Jolly Rancher. Yeah, it's a good one. Flavor. Is this red? Nice.
They have played basketball against each other their whole lives, but now Kam and Kessler Edwards are playing for the same team. But that doesn't mean the Pepperdine duo is any less competitive.
All right, we'll start it off with this. That's one. Give him H. That's H. You got H. Ah. That's O for him. That's O for him. What in the world? Oh! That's O? I gotta get the stairs. That's definitely R. R. H-R, H-R. Oh, okay. I didn't think we were taking it there. Ah! That means S? This for E? Oh, no. Y'all know that I do this. Ah, dang. This dude got me with a half-court shot.
Right here in Spokane, head coach Mark Few has helped build a basketball powerhouse. He recently sat down with Jeff Goodman to talk about the program, his future with the Zags, and life after basketball.
I think by now everybody realizes you're a lifer now in Spokane. You're not going anywhere. What would it ever have taken? I mean, I heard Indiana was the one that you maybe thought about for a little bit, but a lot of schools have. All right, so I guess I'm wrong on that.
Yeah.
You didn't think about any, really? No.
Oh, I mean, there's been some that caused some consternation or pause to okay, where are we at? I always tell people, for me, they cause you to look deeper into yourself than I'm comfortable doing on a regular basis. I try not to have those deeper thoughts regularly. There's probably been a couple of those that have happened. And again, I've never said never or anything. I love what we're doing. I love where we're at. The great thing about Gonzaga is they've continued to grow this entire time we've been on this run. So I'm not staying at the same job.
Right, it feels different.
It feels different. I mean, now we have our new practice facility and just all the things that we're doing there, and the school's growing and the community's growing, and so it feels different. But it's been a fabulous place to call home.
Time to take a break. When we come back, Ezra takes us down the coast with a look at news and notes from around the conference. And will the Gonzaga women three-peat as conference champs? Can LMU rise to the top? We break down the conference when we return. WCC All-Access is brought to you in part by Nike.
Olympic medalist, MVP, world champion, Hall of Famer, brightest stars on the biggest stages, all started here. From the classroom to the court, the West Coast Conference.
It's easy to see the ending and think the road there is inevitable. It's not. And that's why Gonzaga education matters. This is where you'll launch adventures, challenge each other, celebrate a little, or a lot, and truly understand the world around you. These are the experiences that will define you. This is the place your purpose will unfold. Greater things await you at Gonzaga University.
We're back on WCC All-Access from the campus of Gonzaga. I'm Ezra Broder. It's time to go down the coast and see what's making headlines around the conference. We start in Provo, where Dave Rose is staying on the sidelines. The men's basketball head coach signed an extension to coach through the 2020-21 season. He is the second winningest coach in program history. In Stockton, Bradley Davis is sticking around for a while too. The Pacific women's coach signed a 3-year extension, keeping him on the bench through 2023. Davis is in his 4th season as head coach after leading the Tigers to the conference semifinals last season. Santa Clara athletics are getting a big boost. The school announced plans to build a state-of-the-art athletic excellence center. Thanks to multi-million-dollar gifts from alumni, student athletes will have a new place to train, practice, eat, and study. It's scheduled to break ground next year. And the Pepperdine community is receiving lots of support after several tragic events impacted Malibu and the surrounding area. To show your support or to contribute, please visit impact.pepperdine.edu and follow the link to the Pepperdine Strong Fund. Gonzaga is the favorite to three-peat as conference champs, but it'll face some tough competition as the WCC is improved from last season. Let's look at what to expect this women's basketball season with a trio of experts. The Zags set a WCC record with 17 conference wins last season en route to the title. But Jill Bard is gone, and the rest of the field is improved. This season, it might not be the typical 3 teams at the top in the Zags, St. Mary's, and BYU.
Well, I definitely think those 3 teams have earned the respect. They're kind of setting the bar for the WCC, but I also think that the lower half, those 7 bottom teams, maybe 6 bottom teams, are getting better. I think you're going to see LMU surprise some teams this season.
LMU just recently defeated the number 23 team in the nation at the time, UCLA. So LMU is really good. I think, from top to bottom, it's going to be a lot better league this year.
So who is stuffing the stat sheets? Who are we looking out for on a nightly basis? Who are the coaches game planning against?
The 2 players I think are going to make the biggest impact this year are both in the Los Angeles area. Gaby Green from Loyola Marymount. She had a big game in the Lions opening night win over UCLA. I think she had 29 points. And a player that I've enjoyed calling her games for several years now, Yasmin Robinson-Bako to Pepperdine. One of the most explosive athletes in the West Coast Conference. And when she gets a little mojo going, when her smile gets going, you can't stop her.
Well, definitely for Gonzaga, you've got returners in their lineup with Laura Stockton, their floor general. She's improved her offense. Great point guard for them. You've also got Chandler Smith for them, who is a versatile guard, can score in multiple ways. You look at St. Mary's, also 2 very good players, Sydney Raggio and Megan McKay. Those are very experienced players.
Sarah Hamsun, the 6'7" tower down at BYU. Last year as a true freshman, she led the nation in block shots. She's only going to get better, and she's a defensive stopper too, and that really can cause problems on a team. So she can be one of those game changers. She's an awfully good ball player. I think she's one to watch out for.
There are so many big games you'll want to watch this season, but there's one date you want to circle on your calendar. Saturday, December 29th. That's when conference play starts. The first Division I game she worked was a WCC women's game. And now, Crystal Hogan is back in the WCC on the men's side. Earlier this season, she worked the sidelines as the first female referee in a WCC men's game.
Crystal Hogan worked as the first female Division I official tonight at the Santa Clara U Prairie View game. And it was a special moment for me because it was our league and she worked in the WCC. But more importantly, it's just one more step of what we're trying to do to improve officiating.
Being here today was emotional. I mean, this is what I want to do. And working in the D-League is where I got all my skills, most of my skills, working in the NBA D-League for 3 years. Continuing, working in the Drew League and any Pro-Am league I could find.
And I think this is just the natural next progression in her career. And it really is a testament to the hard work that she's done in the course of her career in men's basketball.
I want to just tell everyone that has had my back and that supported me. Thank you. The WCC has been awesome. They were the first Division I school that conference that I reffed in as a women's official. So to come back as a men's official today it's been awesome.
Women can do the job. We just gave her the opportunity and she's walked right through that door.
When we come back, we recap the best fall sports season in conference history. And when he's not on the recruiting trail, he's literally on the trails with his horses. Time to saddle up with BYU head coach Jeff Judkins coming up next.
From the classroom to the court, 10 exceptional schools across the West Coast. Since 2010, 48 postseason wins, 12 academic All-Americans.
Pop the three, how do you like that?
1 Final Four appearance. It's more than just a game.
Let's take a look at some of the best moments on social media from across the conference. Is there a more fitting place for the Waves than the Bahamas? And just their luck? Check out who head coach Lorenzo Romar and his staff ran into. The legend himself, Michael Jordan. MJ was on plenty of posters in his day, but take a look as Domantas Sabonis did some posterizing of his own. The former Zag threw down on Joel Embiid, and that's just filthy. And it's the holiday season, which means WCC student athletes are in the giving spirit. Gonzaga student athletes are doing their part in the Spokane community, raking leaves and participating in Habitat for Humanity. Way to go. We're back on the Gonzaga campus for this month's episode of WCC All-Access. I'm Sammy O'Brien. By almost any measure, the fall sports season was the best in conference history. 6 teams in the top 10 nationally, 2 undefeated teams, and 1 team ranked first in the country. Let's recap the historic season.
Medill will try the other side. Unbelievable!
It only took a few weeks for history to be made. On September 10th, BYU volleyball jumped to the top of the national rankings, becoming the first WCC team to hold the #1 spot. The Cougars didn't lose a match for 13 weeks and cruised to their 5th straight WCC title. Men's soccer enjoyed its finest season in a decade as 3 teams made the NCAA tournament. St. Mary's finished the regular season as the only undefeated team in the country, winning the WCC for the first time since 2011. Pacific made the tourney for the 3rd straight season, and Portland for the 2nd time in 3 years. Another year, another multi-bid league in women's soccer. BYU won the conference title, and Santa Clara finished the regular season in the top 10 nationally. The WCC has sent multiple teams to the big dance every year this century. And in cross country, the BYU and Portland men finished 2nd and 3rd respectively at nationals for the 2nd straight season, marking the highest finishes in conference history. The BYU women placed 7th and Portland women finishing 12th, the best finish in Pilots history. He's BYU's all-time winningest women's basketball coach, and after 18 seasons on the sidelines, you'd think you know all there is to know about Jeff Judkins. But recently, I got to see a whole different side of him.
My grandma's parents lived in a farm in Benjamin, Utah, which is south of Provo, and we used to go down the farm and ride horses. My dad loved horses, and that's probably where I got my love, and I kind of got hooked, you know. I have to feed them every day, and you have to give them water every day. I usually feed them in the morning before I go to work. It's a little bit of work, but you know, I enjoy it. I know they count on me. When my truck pulls up, they know I'm coming. I have to go get hay. I go through about 3 tons, well, maybe 2.5 tons a month. Whoa, 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 whoa. These 3 horses are Amy, Frankie, and Hamsun. This is the worst part. This is, You do this every day. Garbage day's on Friday, so I fill this up and take it out. Should we load them up? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Now we're gonna go have a rodeo. Favorite part for me is riding them. You know, getting out and getting in the mountains and going where you want. I try to ride at least once a week, usually Saturday mornings. If not, I try to go during the night. I go up to the Uintas and fish and hunt at least 2 or 3 times a year. So, you know, I keep them in pretty good shape. Come on, come on. For me, it's just relaxing, and I have 5 kids and they like to ride, and now my grandkids are starting to ride, so it's a good family activity.
One more block to go. Coming up, Ezra tells us what to look out for over the next few weeks. An imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, so we asked basketball players and coaches to flatter each other. That's on the other side of this break.
From the shores of the Pacific to the mountains of Utah, in the classroom, in the community, and on the fields of play, we give back. We lead by example. We represent.
Here's what to watch for over the next few weeks. The West Coast Conference has a new weekly social media segment, Katz Chats WCC Hoops. National college basketball reporter Andy Katz talks with a different WCC player or coach each week. You can see it on the WCC Hoops Twitter account or on the WCC's Facebook and YouTube pages. And the WCC is hosting first and second round action in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Watch 8 of the 64 teams play at the SAP Center in San Jose on Friday, March 22nd and Sunday, March 24th. You can buy your tickets now through Ticketmaster. From Spokane, Washington, welcome back to WCC All-Access. I'm Ezra Broder. Players don't often get the chance to make fun of their coaches, in front of them anyway, but we asked them to give us their best impression of their coach and gave the coaches a chance for revenge. Take a look.
God, they're hitting me in the back. They're hitting me in the back.
If you ask her a question, she goes, yeah, I'm like, yeah, what?
Okay, guys, on the sideline. Sideline 6.
Where do you guys think you're going? Work for your water. Someone step up.
Let's go, Bronx!
Oh gosh.
He's had a bum ankle for like a couple years now. So he's been in the training room more than the players have been. So he kind of walks around like this with one ankle.
Okay, coach, I'll do it. I'll do it, coach. Okay, you're right. I'll do it, coach.
She starts out at a significantly high octave, and it just keeps going higher as she gets nervous, and I don't know. And then no one can actually understand what she's saying.
If you moved any slower, you'll be molasses. And then he gives you the stare down at it.
She always goes,
dang it!
And usually
That's valid.
There's usually a yes.
A hand clap.
A hand clap.
The energy has to go somewhere, so it goes into the hands.
Yeah.
In full conversation, it's just like, oh my gosh, she falls down. That's just the only thing you can do.
She's always super happy and everything bouncing.
That'll do it from Gonzaga. Thank you for watching WCC All-Access. We leave you with some of the best plays from the last month of action around the West Coast Conference. See you next time.
Clark fronts the post, took it away. Perkins runs it down, another lob, and the slam by Clark.
Now Gibson with the nice hesitation move. Chelsea Gibson is playing amazing here.
Olympic medalists, MVPs, world champions, Hall of Famers, brightest stars on the biggest stages, all started here. From the classroom to the court, the West Coast Conference.